This conference will now be recorded.
All right. The Town of Cottage Grove Planning Commission will hold a public meeting on Wednesday, January 25th, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall at 4058 County Road N. You can also join the meeting by GoToMeeting. We have a quorum present. The meeting was posted at the Town Hall and on the website. I'll call the meeting to order. You have the minutes of our December 28th meeting in your packet.
To accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion by Klinger, second by Myler to approve the minutes for December 28th, 2022 as presented. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Steve, are you there?
Yes, I am. Andrew's abstained.
Okay. Motion passed. Next item is public concerns. Public's opportunity to speak to the Planning Commission about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. Have none. We'll move on to item 5. Thomas Stretch, applicant and landowner. Alan and Carrie Schmidt and Door Creek Golf Course landowners at 4343 and 4345 Vilas Road, parcel 0711-074-8075-0, seeking a rezone of 0.22 acres from RR4 to R3 and 0.06 acres from RR4 to RR2 to shift the property lines between adjacent landowners.
I'm Tom Strike.
You have the floor.
Perfect. Do I need to move up to the chair of?
It's up to you.
Okay, this is actually works out well for me right here. I just want to correct one thing you did say, Chris, or at least I thought I heard you say this. The first rezone request from RR4, I think you said R3. It's actually to RE, as in recreational.
RE.
Yes,
Yes.
perfect. Okay. So basically what I'm here for is just to ask for rezone on those two lot line adjustments. And basically, I live at 4343 Vilas. Alan and Karen Schmidt live at 4345. There's a little jog in the lot line between our two lots. I'm just trying to straighten that out in the event that Alan and Karen should ever decide to sell. I'd like to have a straight line there just so that, you know, it's easier to cut grass and prevent a fence from going. The other item for rezone is basically another lot line adjustment. This was a transaction that the previous golf course owner, his last name was Bradt, B-R-A-D-T.
Yep.
And Alan and Karen sold Mr. Bradt 50 feet of their most western portion of their property, so that a golf course trail that went over their land was no longer going over their land.
Yeah.
For some reason, it just never got recorded properly. I don't think it ever made it into the register of deeds. It was never changed in the meets and bounds description. So we're just trying to correct that as well at the same time.
And that went back to what, 89?
89.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just trying to get everything cleared up for the town as well as the
Landowners. Yeah. Any questions from the Planning Commission?
This is the piece you were just speaking of.
That's the chunk, yes, that's the chunk that is between my property and Karen and Allen.
That's the first one you spoke about.
Yes.
Oh.
And that's from an R4 to an R2.
Okay.
And then this is the 50-foot section that was previously sold. And now we're trying to get this recorded onto a document.
Okay, and that's the one we're using as a golf cart.
Yes, yeah, the golf cart path kind of runs right across that corner. And so they decided if they could get 50 more feet, that would take care of that trespass.
Yeah.
So this has already been done because of recorded.
Yeah.
It's not going to be any additional X, any when they get a tax bill, is it a separate tax bill? Is this a separate parcel? These are all gonna get combined. It's kind of the question.
My understanding to that, and I'm not an expert, but this is my understanding up until this point, is that when the CSM gets redrawn, all three parcels will go on to the CSM. But the surveyor, David Reesop from Deerfield, mentioned that when that happens, most likely Dane County will assign a new parcel for Karen and Alan, and that'll become one parcel, so it'll be one tax bill for them.
Okay. Okay.
Move to approve. To fix prior errors, or omissions.
Motion by Mule, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Mark Kudna to approve the rezone of 0.22 acres from RR4 to RE and 0.06 acres from RR4 to RR2. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Anders, aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. They'll go to the town board on February 6th
Okay,
for them to take final action,
town board meeting February 6th. Perfect.
7 o'clock.
Okay, one thing I did fail to mention, which should have probably told you this before, but I did also talk to Aaron Ruth at the village. And he said, as far as they're concerned, they don't even worry about any type of lot line adjustments.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to Dwayne Swalheim, applicant, landowner, parcel 711-273-0044-0. North Star Road Comprehensive Development Plan Review for proposed commercial subdivision.
Let's come apart. I guess I'll just stand.
Grab another chair. Sorry. We had one up.
Ryan Kwan was the engineer in this project. One engineering.
Can you put that on the screen?
Probably not, because this is the first we've seen it.
See what we got. All right, the plan.
Thank you.
So this here shows that the county has approved, will approve my stormwater and erosion control.
Erosion control plan, yeah.
DNR has already done it and it posted down on the property.
Right.
Those two things. And she also requested that I brought you the tiling diagram. One of the parts of the thing was asked for the tile diagram. People, I don't have a copy of the map of the rezone with the lots in there. I didn't get that.
It's pretty similar to what's shown in this
Yes.
plan note.
Yeah.
Again, Ryan with Plum Engineering, and I worked with Barrington. While Barrington's preparing the plat map that's made up for conceptual review tonight.
Yes.
Plum Engineering, from some engineers at Plum Engineering, we prepared the erosion control and stormwater management spindle. I actually prepared it quite a while ago. It's, as Dwayne said, it's basically been approved, aside from the letter that says we have to do
Yeah.
bond and.
Letter of credit.
Yeah,
Signed in front of a notary and.
and then even the public street, that has been designed from a grading standpoint, and again, erosion control stormwater management standpoint. hasn't been presented to the town yet. So Mark Rockers will probably want to look at that. But it's
Town engineer.
town engineer there, yeah. But it's been internally designed to make sure that the drainage works, sizing the culverts, even like kind of an earthwork balance, there's some earthwork that's going on, so cuts and fills, roughly balances. The ditches have been sized, to handle a 100-year rain event, all that type of thing. And again, all that would have to be reviewed by the town engineer. It's pretty much ready to go, but I think this is concept plan approval and make sure we're heading in the right direction before we go to those details.
Right. And we had sent you the comments that Mark had.
Yes, I got that, yes.
And so you have the water, stormwater reaching the bulb so that it can drain into your ponds.
Yeah, there's, and one other thing I'll mention is we also, and now this is part of Mark Rockford's request, is soil testing. We had to do some soil testing for stormwater management purposes.
Yeah.
And also wanted to figure out where the groundwater was at, because we didn't want to have a pond in the groundwater. But yeah, the cul-de-sac bulb, it kind of goes across like a ridge. So the profile kind of has a down and then an up and then a down. And yeah, there's ditches on both sides, and then there's a culvert at each of the low spots.
To drain everything from the roadway into your ponds.
Yeah, and the ponds were designed, at the low end of the site.
Yep.
Obviously, they're sized to handle the anticipated impervious areas, which could be significant on some of these lots. But yeah, they're again on the low side of the site. We did do topographic collections or partial topographic collection along with Barron-Cott to kind of verify that the ditch at the east property line where the ponds discharge to, are lower than our pond. So we had that detailed. One kind of unique aspect of this is this came out with the county review is the eastern edge was determined to be kind of like a navigable waterway. And then that, yeah, believe it or not, we kind of argue with that a little bit, but we so much for arguing with that. But anyway, that required, you can only have like 15% impervious area within 300 feet of a navigable waterway, according to shoreline ordinances, because I think this in shoreline ordinances. And so that actually kind of pulled the proposed impervious area on the eastern edge to be such that no more than 50% would be within that 300-foot setback.
Okay.
So that's another kind of unique aspect of this site. Barron-Cott looked at some of the soils for septic to make sure that some of the areas are so low and it was also being filled that that's not suitable for septic, particularly the eastern two lots, what's shown in here is lots 4 and 5. But the other lots, we're able to find some soils that are suitable. So those are labeled as, areas to be protected from grading so that they can be used for septic when those lots are ready to go. And so that, yeah, those are from up there on this plan.
Okay, the wooded area is either low or high. So that either they take a fill, that's where the fill is coming from, the woods, and it's used to fill up the low. So the woods are gone. We tried to save it. There's no way we could. It would not work out drainage wise.
Yeah.
There's only 5 good trees in the woods that they kept.
The rest were box elder and
Kind of what I expected.
Yes. Doug Allen got is it Dan Allen or Doug Allen? Doug Allen got the one good tree, the big one, and then Don Struckmeyer took the little ones for his fireplace. That was it. The rest were bad.
yeah.
Yeah, this thing here cost me a lot of my profit. There was 750,000 of the lots in there gone. That's a lot of the profit. Now, I will save some money because we don't have to fill it up,
Yeah.
but still, that's a tough thing to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can farm and I can put fertilizer there and manure and everything else.
And there's no drainage tile in that area.
Yes, there is.
There is.
Yes. Well, they're right here. I showed you the map. Oh, right there. Yeah. That 300 is all the entire length is got that time.
Where is that in relation to the map here?
Right here is the waterway is right here.
Oh, on the backside?
This is on the east side.
Yeah.
And there's all the tile line, full length, almost a full length of that.
So the tile lines run parallel with eastern.
North, south.
Yes, north, south,
We're north, eastern and north.
eastern part, and that's the one they say I got 300 feet, and that looks like it's about 300 feet. So that's all tile.
And so those will stay in place.
Yeah, they'll stay in place and we'll farm that land most likely. You know, I'll probably put in hay, something like that.
Yeah.
So you're saying
Instead of using, instead of having sort of erosion control,
you can't touch them? You can't.
nope, we can't put anything in there.
Okay, you can grade in that area, but you can't put impervious area. There might be some topsoil, I mean, because there's gonna be excess topsoil, we have to probably talk about where that's gonna go.
Yeah.
But some of that topsoil could end up going in that area to kind of raise it up a little bit.
You want to run through the items that Mark had on his list? Did you have any problem with any of the permitted or conditional uses?
No, we went to them in the first meeting, I got it right here, remember that, yeah, yeah. And I think that's already recorded, right, for the first lots?
Yeah,
Yes.
for those first three.
Oh, I figured that it's gonna go on to the next ones now, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
So we need to discuss that what we talked about for the first few lots, be put on these lots?
yeah, right.
Correct.
let me think, he's got number F, the existing tiles, we've got that. Woodland, we don't have any, woodlot, we don't have.
No,
We have not contacted Natural Heritage yet. I guess Baron Cuts will do that as we go on. Yeah.
get the historical out there today, see if they find anything. Probably won't.
I hope not. I do have an attorney that's worked with us from our state, from Lewis and Bond in Madison, and she'll be doing the development agreement and covenants.
Lots 3 through 7. Mark was indicating for outdoor storage that those would be ideal because of the lower visibility.
So 3 right there, 3. 3, 4, you're right, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Is he saying like exclusive outdoor storage or something? Or just more storage with a building? What's he saying?
Outdoor storage.
Just outdoor storage lots.
Meaning it's something that's not covered if you,
Yeah.
like in your buildings, you put all your equipment in.
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking, put it in a building versus just setting it outside.
Yeah. And we'd limit the outdoor storage on the other lot
Oh, I see, yeah,
because they're more visible.
yeah. Yeah,
Is that lot to the south of you where the farm building is? We limited him where he could put outdoor storage and how he had to screen it.
okay. Well, I never got noticed that he got anything, period. I never got notified.
When did we do that?
Just last week.
Last month.
Yeah. I never got notified about anything. So what's he doing there? I mean,
It's going to turn the building into a commercial building or electrical.
oh, that guy, oh, him,
Yeah,
okay. All right, I think if I was all along. This might.
I know. That's,
But now it's okay.
that's what we thought and had the county watch it. So,
Uh-huh. Yeah, if I get a customer, a potential client that wants more, I can push them down there. Say, hey, we got one just for you. No, the guy that wanted, I did have a lot sold, but he's a guy that tree company, I wanted to go without a building for like 5 years.
yeah,
That wasn't gonna happen, was I kind of told him, we backed out of that deal,
yeah.
you know.
And would you want to allow out or lots 8 and 9 to maybe be able to shift those lot lines in case, depending on,
Here's our plan, okay? Like lot number 1, 2, and 3. We would never sell lot number 2 first because somebody might want all 3 of them.
oh, yeah,
So if we will sell lot number 1 and number 3, but not 2, until 1 and 3 are gone.
okay,
Okay, somebody does the same thing up above, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9.
okay,
We'll see what happens. If
Yeah.
somebody wants 2 or 3 acres, now we're set to go.
right. That makes sense.
Did you sell these lots on front already?
No,
No,
no. It's pretty hard, the realtor says, until you have something to show them, it's pretty hard.
yeah,
They look at it and say, no, right now it's a soybean field. Once the roads are in and everything's done, we should be better.
yeah. So you've done the on-site testing for wastewater. And you know where the groundwater is. You didn't have any slopes that were more than 12%, did you, on that site?
Oh, I had a map. There's some. I didn't bring that map with
Is
me.
there?
That's a real, when you go there on the southwest corner, there's a big hill, it's gonna be removed, that's where the fill comes from. But that's, yes, that's well over 12%, I would think. That's pretty steep.
You might want to send us that map.
Yeah, I didn't bring it here tonight. Sorry about that, but I did have that prepared. And I think, yeah, just that ridge in the middle had some side slopes that were just over. These are 1 foot contours on the map that I have here, so it looks steeper than it really is because every 1 foot on a large scale drawing.
Yeah,
But yeah, I do remember there was some along that ridge. And we could prepare that as part of the detailed middle.
and we see where the stormwater ponds and discharge locations are. We got a map of the drainage tiles. And the woodlot's gone.
How close does the end of the cul-de-sac come to the area you're not gonna be able to farm, or the area you're not gonna be able to sell?
Oh, quite a ways, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 350 feet.
Okay,
So I mean, the lots at the end of the cul-de-sac still have 350 feet of area to work with.
so this is truly at the back of the lot lines here? Right here?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Right here's Ryan's from, right here?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a line, yeah.
So those are the lot
Yeah.
lines, this is the area we talked about farming.
Yep.
Okay.
that's probably like one of the bigger items that I think Chris is coming up to is who's going to own that whole lot. I think that Mark Roberts brought that up.
Yeah. Said we should consider it. And I don't know how the planning commission feels about considering town owning the outlots to take care of them or be shared by the owners.
Does the current owner have an interest in holding it?
We?
Yeah.
No, because I'm too old.
You
The
want-
way this is going, I might not be around in this. Years. Till tonight.
Yeah, I don't know at this point if I want to own them or not. I just assume not because of the maintenance. So it's going to be 20 or 30 years down the road that they have to be cleaned out. And well, yeah, but somebody in the town's going to pay for it unless there's a way of creating it so that that expense is passed back to those landowners.
It's almost like a condominium association.
Yeah,
So really, the north wet pond and the east wet pond and all the Bruce navigable stream and all the area east of that, that's all the outlot, right? Outlot one, yeah.
mhm.
So what concerns me about the ponds is that, so you don't get the stagnant pond like you have at Whittywood. The willows growing up there. So it's gotta be maintained by somebody, because otherwise it's just gonna go down this low. You know what's gonna happen, more box elders and everything else.
Yeah.
Well, the new landowners are, well, we're just gonna have to understand that, maybe there's obligations.
Yeah,
Yeah. well, you turn out to do
I
that.
would think the attorneys would be able to come up with
Oh, yeah.
a way of
It'd be a business park association.
that area.
Oh, that's another idea, just everybody would share in the
Business park,
maintenance of it,
yeah, right,
not just the owner of the border.
Right. so
Yeah.
a business park.
Oh,
Because the lot, or Steve and CSM lot one is benefiting from it.
sure,
So the whole corner should really be part of the
yeah.
players in that thing.
Yeah.
It's a practical matter.
Because that's where the water's
Wherever the
going.
water's going,
That's where the water's going.
they should be a player in the thing.
Yeah. So we just make up be part of the covenants. We call it The development agreement covenants, I'd be part of it.
Yeah,
Then they just hire somebody to do it.
And
if
make
and
sure
when it needs to be done.
See, Chris,
he can decide.
Yes,
But-
Steve,
Oh, I'm sorry.
couldn't we go ahead and create some sort of document like we did up at Kennedy Hills for those detention, retention ponds up there down for this particular property also, so that we could spread the cost out amongst all the current landowners at that time?
right, that's what we were just discussing with him, doing something like that. That everybody in that area would participate in the maintenance. Because that's where their water's going.
Correct, and then the property owner, current property owner then would be responsible for drawing up those documents for the town to review and to sign then?
Yeah, right.
With an oversight that if something looks like it needed to be done and they're all not agreeing to do it,
We
then,
can do it and charge it back to
yeah,
them.
right, to the business association.
Yeah,
So this road that goes to Cullen, that's a public road. That'd be your road, right? That's a public road?
it will be, yeah,
So then you would take care of that, right? That's a public road? You'd have to mow that like you mow the rest of them?
yeah. Yeah, like we do now on North Star.
Okay, all right. All right. So it's mainly the ponds, we're talking about mainly the big ponds or waterways that,
Correct.
Feed
It's not-
to it.
yes.
Yeah, for some reason they get silted in or something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
Make sure that they continue working.
So town's doing the snow plowing and all that too, right?
Right.
Just to make sure you know.
Okay, all right.
On the preliminary and final plats, he was wanting to see a planting plan. And we have that, no driveway within the road right of way shall be closer than 150 feet from the nearest edge of the right of way of an intersecting public road.
Yep, yes. That means both ways, so like these first two lots, if they want to go off that public street, 150 feet from the road, they can. They can use the choice, they go off North Star or the public. Like, say as long as it's 150 feet from the corner.
Right.
All right.
And we just want to make sure that they know that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just give that to my realtor, so that when they know that.
So the CFM lot 1, which is south of the public road, that lot itself is only like 150 feet wide. So you might want to,
It would have to access North Star Road.
or maybe, but the grades, I think we might have to say, like, honestly, I think that lot needs to come from the public street, just from a grading standpoint.
Oh.
So we might have to say there's an exception for that lot where the driveway has to be like 125 feet instead of 150, just for that one lot.
Because of the slope there.
Yeah, because the North Star is pretty high in comparison to what we're proposing for the flat portion of the lot.
Yeah,
And so if you can see where the septic area is proposed, that's kind of in the first 100 feet of the frontage, but then
Yes.
the driveway wants to be 125 feet off the, and I'm not sure exactly how it is compared to the road, the front. So maybe it ends up being 150 feet from the road, but maybe not 150 feet from the frontage.
yeah.
And that 20-foot difference is where the driveway ends up being. We'll have to, we can respond to that comment in our detailed submittal saying, we agree, but here we want to deviate a little bit.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
No, no, I can think about it. We're gonna go through the difference, or we just gonna tag them?
I think we can just tag them.
So we were pretty stringent with them the first time.
What, then what deed restrictions required?
Your general zoning.
Yeah,
Yes,
we just continue those.
yeah, that's kind of what, the very first meeting, we kind of decided on all of, down the line and.
Right.
Going off from the other last item on the agenda, which is gonna be talking about the cell towers.
Yes.
I'm assuming lots will be big enough, depending on the cell phone.
That ordinance wouldn't pertain to this because that pertains to if it's next to a residential
Residential? Okay.
lot.
So it has no-
And we aren't allowing any residential lots here. So,
And they're done the bottom.
no,
Okay. So leaving that portion of having a cell phone tower or cell phone.
would be still,
Okay. applicable.
yep.
I'm sure that.
Anyone else have any comments, questions?
Okay, another thing is that the east-west road on the north side, we'll start construction on that when we sell one of those lots.
Okay. Yeah. And the town is still looking at possibly getting water or sewer and needing water to that area.
That's a long ways away, isn't it, from,
It-
I mean, the distance wise?
It is, it's all the way to AB,
Oh, wow, that's a long.
It's a lot.
but it would benefit the area.
Well, it would benefit my next 80 acres to the south.
Yeah.
right on the highway there. That's more prime.
Yeah, if you have sewer there.
Yes.
So we would want your potential buyers to know that if we do get it there, they don't get to complain about it.
Yeah.
You can ask buyers a lot if they wanted to have an area where they wanted to store stuff outside, we can ask them to shield it with vegetation. Trees in there. We can have that in there tonight or anything.
No, we'll do that at design and review
Design review, yeah.
after we see what it is that
Right.
actually,
What they're putting in.
yeah. Right now, it's more of a guess.
Absolutely.
So if there's no questions, is there a motion? What, you guys gonna flip a coin or what?
So come spring, because I got all my erosion control, everything's okay with the county DNR, we can start moving dirt, but we just can't sell lots until everything, the CSM gets recorded. So we can move dirt, but that's all we can do now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody else is stepping up.
Thank you, David.
Motion to approve contingent on the prior,
The comprehensive development plan,
yeah,
they're approving that
yes. And including the same,
with,
same restrictions as we did in the CSMs that we had before.
and answering all the questions that Mark had in his
Yeah.
letter.
Yeah.
Anything else? Motion by Mule, is there a second? I'll second. Second by Myler. Discussion on that motion. Hopefully everyone understands that. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Andrews, aye. Andrews, aye.
I didn't hear him.
I didn't hear 'em.
That was late.
Take the mute off.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
No, I won't be there. I'm going back to Florida tomorrow. So can we go to Zoom for the next meeting or what do you think?
Yeah, you need to do,
Thank you so much.
go to meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll be back Monday. She's in Florida now. I don't know. She was traveling around quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Not really sure.
I'm not sure where she is.
She's enjoying sunshine.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
so we'll hear from you on the 6th. The next item is discuss and consider recommendation regarding proposed Dane County ordinance amendment 2022 OA-57 regarding application requirements and setbacks for communication towers.
The residential areas.
Yeah, it's mainly where it's adjacent to land where a single family residence is permitted. That they want the setback to be more.
Equal to or greater than the color.
That's all.
And it couldn't be made more if. Whatever.
That's somewhere in here.
Second page.
Last paragraph, Article 4, 6B. Equal to a grade on the post type.
Yeah.
How does it read? Six B?
Did Steve go to this?
I don't know.
It's pretty interesting reading. Direction that's gonna happen.
Has there ever been a cell tower failure?
I'm sure there has, but not around here that. I mean, there was just a wind turbine failure up in Dodge County, but
Yeah, know that.
last week, yeah. How about it fell out?
There was a recent radio tower failure also up in the northwest part of the state that was grandfathered, and actually it fell into the residential lot but happened to miss the farmhouse that was there.
Got any objections? No, anything?
And typically, these things are designed not to fall flat out. They're designed to fold up.
Yeah.
So a greater, equal to or greater than, they're kind of leaving themselves wide open for a determination. I mean, if it does lay flat out, parts aren't going to fly, you know, and get somebody. That doesn't typically happen.
Somebody know you would.
How do you feel about this ordinance?
I've been in these discussions with engineers that's presenting their case, and they can show analysis of how they design the towers. Now, it's a difference between a guide tower
I don't
and
see a
a
problem.
self-supporting tower.
I think it's,
Pardon?
I think it's
It's good
good.
between a guide tower and self-supporting.
Yeah.
That's not being specified in this.
Basically, they're just putting in a fall requirement.
If it's adjacent to a resident or where it's full for resident home.
And that's one part. And then the other part is that when I'm reading is that there's a bunch of apparently communication companies that want to start setting more and more towers. And you're like, well, wait a minute. They talk about using collector areas. You group them together.
Right.
And they're saying there's, in some of this blue here, there are requirements now that if there's a tower, you have to make your best effort to use that tower that's there. already.
Existing one.
Existing
Yes.
ones, rather than put up. But in the event that you put one up, the new restriction is covenant that you have to be
Commingle.
commingled, but if you're gonna put one up, it's gotta be with the new, you gotta be equal to or greater than the tower height away from the property line.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. So what's the motion? Anything?
I haven't had one yet.
I have somebody that wants to say something.
Yeah. Richard.
So co-location is a good goal, but unless the structure is designed to handle co-location.
Yeah.
You can say, okay, you will accept or you will talk to people when you build an apartment building for 12 apartments and you got to take 18. Well, there's no room. So to say, yes, we're going to agree to co-locations. Okay, did you design that into your structure?
Original.
Would be part of your discussion with the applicant. Where's the loading
Yeah.
list on this structure? So it's got to be right at the get-go, just so you guys as a planning commission know.
Mm-hmm.
Both weight load and wind load. Weight and wind load.
Well, it's got to meet the EIA, TIA code for how many antennas? as we move to 5G and 6G, these antennas are bigger and heavier than what we're seeing now in the sector sites.
We started with.
So what's the future? You know, what does the future hold? You're gonna put a rocket ship on the side? I mean, it's a tough call, but it's a good goal. But how does an applicant meet that goal in their design?
Yeah.
So you're looking for a recommendation to approve?
Or not, depending on your point of view.
So we,
If you're in favor of OA 57 or not.
yeah, okay, but we're not approving that. We're just recommending approval of it for the
Right.
county. Yeah, that's all.
All we are doing.
Andrews will move approval of the ordinance amendment as presented.
Okay, motion by Anders. Is there a second? Second by Troy to recommend approval of OA 57. Any more discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same side. Motion carried.
Steve.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Klinger. Is there a second? Sure. Second by Mule. It's non-debatable. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Andrews, aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.
See you guys next month, hopefully.
6 months?
No, next month.
I thought you said 6'2".
Good deal. Hope you're feeling better.
On the way.